What's going on, guys? Today we are going to walk through how to increase your show rate to 90% within 7 days. Now, if you're just getting into paid ads or you're looking to optimize, then you know that show rate is one of the biggest challenges you've got to overcome, especially early days. But luckily, show rate is also one of the stats you can flip the quickest if you install the right systems and take the right action steps to do so. And that's why I'm about to walk you through our exact system that we install into our clients' businesses, as well as using our own to get people showing up to calls and getting them closed. Broken that down into 3 pillars. So we've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But across each of these pillars, there's going to be actionable insights you can start to install into your business today. And I'd actually really like you to do so, because if we ever have the opportunity to meet, if you've already installed these into your business, we're going to be able to hit the ground running if we ever work together. So let's kick it off. Beginner pillar. The first thing we want to look at, and it's going to be the most important, and that is speed to lead. So if a new lead comes in, they fill out your form, we need to be dialing them up within 5 minutes. And if you can get to them within 5 minutes, they're 24 times as likely to pick up that phone and get booked in. And if we let that number even get to 10 minutes after they fill out the form, it's only 4 times as likely that they get booked in. And every minute after that, that number just continues to drop. So speed to lead is going to be our biggest KPI when it comes to getting interest turned into demos booked on your calendar. Step 2 is we want to send a text directly after they book to make sure they've received the calendar invite. Now, they're either going to confirm that they have received it or if they have not. Both are positive outcomes for us, because then we figure out what we need to do next to make sure they show up to the call. And if we can get them on that appointment setting call, we have to ask questions that are relevant to the demo, and it's just going to help them remember the call. So the big 3 things I look at is their current state, their desired state, and their challenges. Then we take those key pieces of information and tie it into why our solution helps them, which is going to build a bit of urgency as to why they need to show up to that call. So if you sell an AI SaaS that helps companies automate CRM activities, they don't really care about that. They care about the outcome your services help them achieve. So if their goal is to increase revenue, tie into how your solution will save their reps more time on admin work, so they can spend that dialing, they can spend that closing, so their revenue is going to go up. You don't want to position your SaaS as a solution, but more of an outcome. And that's going to help you increase your show rates. And once again, build a bit of urgency as to why they should come onto the call ready to buy. And once you've built that urgency, have them add the call to their calendar while you're on the phone. If they directly book onto your calendar, we're hitting them with an automation. If we've got them on the phone, keep them on the phone until they've accepted that calendar invite, because then we know we've got it. That's going to trigger another set of automations, maybe a 24-hour, a 1-hour, a 15-minute reminder, just going to increase your show rates. We have to confirm that they've got the calendar invite. Next thing is more email text reminders going out pre-call. Now, these aren't going to be your standard 24, 1-hour, 15-minute reminders. These are going to be value dense. We are going to remind them of the call, but we're also going to provide value along the way. So that way, when they show up to this demo call, they're even more nurtured than they were before, and they're fully educated about the solution you're providing. And as you're setting these, you also don't want to book out more than 48 hours. Ideally, of course, if somebody's going on a trip, we've got to wait till they come back. But if we can set them for same day, next day, once again, continue building urgency, we're just going to be in a very good spot. Whereas if we book it 3 days out, things can come up, their schedule might change. But if we can get them later that afternoon, the next morning, that gives us enough time to nurture them, but also not enough time for them to forget about the call or find a new priority. And that's all the key action steps for the beginner pillar. There's absolutely nothing else you need besides your time and a cell phone to make that happen to start increasing your show rate. Now, the intermediate pillar has some things we need to work on. And the first one is we want to start to send case studies pre-call. And these aren't just going to be our generic case studies. We really want to tie this to what we discussed earlier, and that's going to be their challenges and the outcomes they want. Let's say in my situation, a prospect tells me they're struggling to get outbound going. I can send them a case study we recorded with our client Salescraft that we added 3.7 million in new qualified pipeline within the first 60 days by expanding their outbound email infrastructure. It's a result we achieved for somebody else that was struggling with the same challenges they had. You really want to tie it all back together. Don't make it generic. Show them why it's important for them to watch that, because once again, we want them as nurtured as possible. Now, the next thing is going to be a pre-call page with VSL and testimonials. So as soon as somebody books onto your calendar, we want to hit them with a value proposition video, or a VSL, which is video sales letter, that essentially breaks down your solution, educates them, nurtures them, builds that trust. Then we want to nail them with testimonials underneath that. So now with these first two steps right here, we've already built a ton of social proof. So ads, outbound email, it's all cold traffic coming in. These people don't know who you are. They don't trust you. And that's exactly what we're trying to overcome here. And step 3 is going to be call them the night before or the morning of, especially if they book out outside of that 48 hours window. So let's say today's Monday. If I've got a call on Wednesday, I'll text them tomorrow afternoon to be like, hey, John, are we still set for our meeting tomorrow? Looking forward to it. XYZ. Just send a little reminder. Obviously, priorities can shift. We want to make sure we're on top of it. We want to make sure we're attentive. And if we can get them to confirm that, even better. And as we're setting these calls, we need to constantly be reminding the prospect of what they're going to get from the meeting. We don't want to position this as just a sales call or a demo call, because at the end of the day, that's not what they care about. They care about the outcome your solution is going to help them achieve. So we want to constantly be reminding of that. And a great way to position this is a custom strategy session. We tie it back to their goals, their challenges that they mentioned earlier, of what the outcome is. Because if the prospect John doesn't want to sit through just another hour-long demo, another hour-long pitch just to be sold to, he wants to know what he's going to get out of it. And that all comes down to the way we position it right out the gate. And a little bonus to that is you just tell them that you're researching their market. It makes it much more personalized. Let's say you're selling a SaaS solution into restaurants. If you can figure out where that restaurant is based out of, let's just say it's New York City. If you can tell them on that appointment setting call, oh yeah, we've spoken with over 5 restaurants from New York City this week. I'd love to tell you what they were struggling with and how we're helping them solve it. I look forward to breaking it down for you on our call. It's as simple as that, and it just once again comes back to the value they're receiving. We're constantly give, and then we'll take at the end. But right now, you do not want to start taking by saying, show up to my demo call, show up to my sales call. They don't care. So we've just got to get our foot in the door and make sure it stays there, and then we can navigate that relationship. But that doesn't necessarily mean roll over. We do need to create scarcity around booking. So don't tell John, yes, John, I'm free all Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Tell John, look, I'm free tomorrow at 11 a.m. or Thursday at 1 p.m. Which one of those works best for you? Even with that small reframe, we want John to feel like if he misses that demo, he's not going to be able to get back in. So we give him 2 options. We nurture him in between them. So to summarize pillar 2, the biggest things we want to be doing here, this is where we start to build out our social proof and build out a little bit of urgency on why they need to show up to the call and what they're going to get out of it. Just lead with value the entire time. Which brings us to pillar 3, where we get a little bit more advanced, but this is my favorite pillar. So block 1 here is going to be create long form content in your niche. So this is going to help you build authority and familiarity with prospects before they even speak to you. It's going to be very similar to this video. It can be you sitting down on a loom, walking through your solution and how it can benefit them. Make it educational. It can be you breaking down the market and how your solution ties into that and the outcomes it helps them achieve. Once again, you just want to kind of put a face to the brand. Because in today's market, the average sophisticated buyer needs a minimum of 7 hours of engagement with your business to trust you enough to buy from you. And that's because trust is at an all-time low. Now, we don't want to be spending 7 hours on phone calls, on sales calls. We want most of that eaten up by content we've already produced that we can reuse across the board. And video content is a great way to do that. And you're going to be able to use that content throughout the entire sales process. Because as we continue to progress, let's say a new lead comes in, we want our speed to lead. So we want our setter dialing them up within 5 minutes. Now, once the setter books that appointment, this is a unique mechanism we have that we install for our clients, and they love it. Their prospects love it. We want to create a group chat between the prospect, the setter, and the closer. And once the setter creates that group chat, he's just going to send a quick message introducing the prospect to the closer. So he bridges that gap so it's not a complete handoff, and the prospect feels like he's being super well taken care of. So the setter will send a message just saying, hey, John, I'd love to introduce you to our growth strategist, Michael. He's one of our top guys. He's going to be walking you through your session tomorrow. Please let me know if you need anything. Then from there, the closer, who we've named Michael, is going to send a quick personalized video once they book in. And the video can be as simple as, hey, John, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. In the meantime, please let me know if you need anything. Now, the closer's got a face to his name. That trust is rising. Once again, the prospect feels very well taken care of, and that trust level is slowly climbing. And once we've done our best to max out that trust level, we go back to providing as much value as possible. So if somebody shows up, we can give them a bonus gift for attending, or that be a free guide, an audit, a $5 Starbucks gift card if you're feeling frisky. What you need to do is just, once again, constantly be providing value. Position that demo call as not only something they should want to attend, but they need to attend, because they're going to get so much value from it to help their business. And if you're able to implement each one of these steps, I can promise you your show rate is going to explode to 90% plus. We've proven it with ourselves. We've proven it with our clients. The biggest thing is you just need to take action on it. And if you feel like this is too much to implement on your own, we do offer a full done for you program. If you're interested in learning more about that, use the first link in the description to book a call with me personally, and I'll walk you through how we can build this out step by step for your own business. If you've watched this far, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.